Alrighty. What's going on, boys? I'm pretty crisp right now, and we're going to be making a One Piece arc tier list. It's just going to be a one-shot thing. I'm recording this on my tablet. Um, it is just a video format. I'm just going to post this straight up on YouTube or maybe TikTok. I don't fucking know, but let's just jump right into this bullshit. First we have Alabasta. Um, in my opinion, a lot of people say Alabasta is like perfect. It's great. To me, I really think it's good. A lot of the scenes with Crocodile are some of my favorites, especially Crocodile absolutely just clapping Luffy's cheeks. Like, I think three times, two times, I don't remember. But, God, such an S tier villain. The plot is pretty great. The whole, like, Civil War type thing going on there is pretty great. I love it. But it does have its downsides. For one, I don't think Luffy should have gotten beat up that many times. It's just kind of stupid. I feel like if he just got beat up once and tossed into the sand pit, and that was it, and he didn't get beat up again after that, I think it would have been fine for me. I really don't like Vivi for most of it until Luffy straight up decks her right in the jaw. Then she learns a little bit. Then afterwards, I really like Vivi, but everything before then, I don't really care. I think Alabasta is also where we get to see Ace for the first time. That's pretty fucking cool. He didn't stay around long, but he was here for a good amount of time, just for us to like kind of know him and shit for now. But yeah, Alabasta is pretty good. It's pretty good. Amazon Lily. This is where we meet Boa Hancock on the Woman Island. Luffy gets sent there after Sabaody by Kuma. We meet up with all the women. Luffy gets his testicles inspected by everyone, literally everybody. He gets praised for having genitals. Luffy doesn't really do much here. There's not much to really go off of other than like the whole arena fight that Luffy had to go through to like kind of like survive, and that's what made Boa really fall in love with him because of what he did to protect the tattoos and shit on the back. He used Conqueror's Hockey there, which is pretty dope. Overall, I think Amazon Lily is it's mid, just for story purposes. Like, yeah, we had to see it, but I feel like it wasn't really that necessary. The end of Amazon Lily, though, is really important because that's where Luffy actually learns that Ace is in trouble and he needs to get to Impel Down to save him. Arlong Park. Okay, we have some pretty early stuff going on here. Arlong Park is right after we pick up Sanji. This is when Nami kind of like quote unquote betrayed us to save her village. Um, we meet up with one of the greatest villains in all of One Piece, Arlong, the shark motherfucker. Uh, I fucking just connected the dots like not that long ago. He's a lone shark. He's literally just robbing everyone in the village. Hey, you got kids? You're gonna give me 15 grand for that. Oh, you are alive? You're gonna give me 20 grand for that. He just kept robbing people all the time, making people suffer. So Nami pretty much sacrificed her happiness to go join Arlong's crew to make charts and shit, and it pretty much like helped out their entire town. My man is just a fucking dog for real. I'm gonna put this shit in perfect, but Arlong straight goaded, literally chewing through cannonballs, not giving a fuck about guns. He's durable as fuck. The way Luffy had to take him out, straight dog shit. Oh, I'm gonna bring you in your house, alright? I'm gonna show you around. I'm gonna show you around your own crib. Because this is gonna be the last time you see it. Luffy kicks his leg up in the air, slams that shit through the fucking roof. He's like, oh, this is gonna hurt, motherfucker. Slams that shit back down into the building, destroys all of Arlong Park, and just absolutely rapes Arlong. It just it belongs in perfect tier. There's nothing wrong with Arlong Park, especially the walk to Arlong Park. Buddy. Tell you what, boy, that that was probably one of the best moments in early One Piece right there. All right, Baratier right before Arlong Park, dude. This is where we meet up with Sanji, get his sad as shit backstory. I already made an entire TikTok about why Sanji is an S tier character, why his backstory is literally one of the saddest backstories we've ever seen. If not the saddest, in my opinion, it is. But it was the saddest before we got to Robin's, and then Robin's got straight up blown out of the water by Sanji's backstory in Whole Cake. Sanji as a character is S tier. The plot of Baratier is actually pretty decent. We show up there, Luffy's fucking around. We get shot at by a cannonball. Luffy tries to deflect it back by, I think, going balloon or something, or slingshot, I don't know. But he misfires and shoots a hole right into the Baratier roof, causing him to have to stay there to do dishes and bus tables and shit to repay for the roof. After this goes to shit, we have Don Krieg showing up with his Gin and fucking crew and shit starving. We have Sanji proving how much he cares about people. This is when we see Mihawk versus Zoro. Holy shit, that fight goes hard. Baratier is perfect to me. This is when One Piece starts actually getting like serious. This is when I was fully invested into One Piece. A lot of people will say, oh, One Piece starts getting good at episode 200, 300. Moist Critical even fucking says it starts getting good at 300, which is ridiculous to me. That's insanity. Like, you didn't enjoy One Piece at all until 300? Come on now. Like, Baratier is only maybe episode 30, I want to say. Maybe 50. I want to say 30. Yeah, the plot is just really great. Compared to what we had before that, Syrup Village and Orange Town and shit, it was alright. Dressrosa. Oh, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Whoa, brother. Hold on now. Alright, Dressrosa. I love Dressrosa. A lot of people hate it because of the pacing. Yeah, the pacing. Where the fuck? Hello? Where'd it go? Am I dumb? What? Did it just disappear? What did it? Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay. The pacing for Dressrosa is pretty bad, especially with the Coliseum. Um, the Coliseum is definitely the worst part about Dressrosa, but the fights make up for it. Every scene with Doflamingo is straight fucking fire, and you can't tell me otherwise. Doflamingo's backstory, the amount of hockey used, we get to see Gear Fourth for the first time. Oh, we actually get Usopp to have an insane bounty. We get God Usopp. We get one of the most ridiculous devil fruits ever, which is that toy fruit that, what the fuck's her name? I don't know, it's what the kid has. Where she straight up turns you into a toy. Everyone forgets who you are. They get all their memories removed. And you become a toy. And just, no matter how hard you try, no one will remember you. No one will care about you. You are stuck as a toy, and people will play with you until you eventually break or they die. And, oh my god. Sabo? Oh man, we get to see Sabo again. Now, I didn't really care about Sabo to begin with, because of how quickly he kind of got, like, shit on and blown up by St. Charles. But God, seeing Sabo again in Dressrosa, he quickly became one of my favorite characters in all of Dressrosa. Um, we get to see Rooster or Bartolomeo. He's fucking cool. Annoying at times because he's pretty much fangirling for all of the Straw Hats, but still really cool. I love his devil fruits. All of the Don Quixote family has really cool abilities. Not even a lot of them have devil fruits, and they are still just powerful. I love it. But I would still put Dressrosa in good. It's not perfect because purely the pacing, but yeah, I think it belongs in good. Drum Island. Drum Island is where we meet Chopper. It's the snow island. We come here because Nami is sick, and we need to find a doctor. Chopper's backstory immediately makes this good for me. But the downsides. I really, really, really hate Wapol. Wapol as a fucking villain is so bad. So bad. Dr. Kureha, I like her. I didn't really care for her until Chopper was leaving when they had like their own sentimental things going on. I love that, but I didn't really care for her that much. Um, Doctorine, unless I got these mixed up, I think I really liked Kureha, but not Doctorine. I'm not really sure. Whoever the male doctor is that like Chopper grew up with and shit, I love him. But the female, who I think is Doctorine, I'm not sure. But I don't like her as much. I really love Chopper. If you don't like Chopper, what is wrong with you? Everyone loves Chopper. If you don't like Chopper, I'm gonna send you out to space and then fuck your sister. How about that? But not much really happens here. And I completely forgot Wapol existed until I said that. So I'm gonna drop it down to mid. It's not bad at all, but it's definitely mid. Mid would be like C. Okay? Be like high C, maybe B. But it's mid. We're gonna move on to Enies Lobby, which is fucking amazing. Enies Lobby and Water 7 are two bangers put out right after each other. Um Alright, just taking a hit, my bad. Enies Lobby is great. We get a lot more for Robin's character. We get the I Want to Live scene. Sogeking is fucking amazing here. The declaration of war on the world government. A lot of the shit we get to see with Pluton and Frankie. Oh man, I'm so excited for Pluton in the story. But Enies Lobby is, I would say, good. It's pretty good, especially the fight with Luffy and Lucci. Oh, the one scene when Luffy was like, "I refuse to go down again," and he's just forcing himself to stand up. This shit fucking, oh my god, slaps. But you know what doesn't fucking slap? Fishman Island. That's Impel Down. Fishman Island is decent. It's pretty bad. I do like the story of Fishman Island purely because it's like some MLK type shit. It's like all about race. We should be respecting humans. Humans should be respecting us. We need to prove that humans should respect us and that we respect them. But no, Hody just has to fucking ruin everything. Hody is such a bad villain. In my opinion, I love Hody's design, but everything else about him is shit. The way he has to take pills for power, the way he kind of just like clapped Zoro in the fucking kingdom, I don't like that very much. Um, I don't know. His whole attitude towards everything. Like, yeah, he was built with hatred towards humans, kind of like how Arlong was, but at least Arlong gave them a fucking chance for like maybe 5 seconds. But Hody is just a bitch for no reason. Literally a bitch. Um, I think this is when we see Red Hawk for the first time. I believe Caribou is here with us, or at least he's stuck in a barrel somewhere. I don't like Caribou, but he's all right. Um, what else happened there? Really, not much. It was just like I wasn't. I won't say it's like a filler arc, quote unquote, kind of like how Skypiea was, where it feels skippable, but it's still canon. But Fishman Island at times feels skippable. The main upsides are Jimbei, the whole like race thing going on in there. That's pretty cool. And I want to say that's it, honestly. Fishman Island is kind of boring. There's a lot of downsides. Pacing is kind of shit at times. Worst villain. Like, it's so fucking bad. Impel Down. This is right before the Paramount War. This is where we try to get out Ace, but it doesn't work. We meet up with um, we meet up with Jimbei. We meet up with Crocodile, Buggy. Bon Clay is there. Oh, Bon Clay's the goat. Literally the fucking goat. Sacrificed himself just so we can leave Impel Down. So I thought he fucking died, honestly. But no, he was alive. What else happened there? Just the tower, not the towers, the levels of hell that Luffy had to go through for his brother, just for his brother to not fucking be there, and they moved him. Holy shit. Impel Down. I should probably rank these in order, huh? I'm gonna put Baratier above Arlong Park. um, I'm gonna put. That's how I'm gonna rate good. Put Enies Lobby behind Alabasta. I'm gonna put Amazon Lily behind Drum Island, and Fishman Island can stay indecent. Yeah, I like this. Alright. Jaya. The fuck happened in Jaya? Where is Jaya? Is this. Right, this is right before Skypiea. This is where we meet Blackbeard. We get that infamous scene of a man's dreams never die or whatever the fuck. We get Bellamy with that one hit punch, which was amazing. Bellamy was really annoying until Dressrosa, but he was alright. Just for like a little obstacle. I don't see him as a great antagonist, but I see him as a good obstacle for Luffy. To show us how much he's grown and showed us how much he's like Shanks now. Whereas he's fine getting spit on and having drinks spilled on him and him getting pushed around and beat up and shit. But as soon as you fuck with my dream or you fuck with my friends, I'm gonna one tap you and you're just not gonna enjoy that very much. What else happened here? I don't know, just that whole cherry pie scene with Blackbeard and seeing how they are similar but still have taken two different paths and are different at the same time. They are quite literally the same character, but two different stories. So I'm gonna put Jaya into mid. I like Jaya, but I don't think it competes with Alabasta, Enies Lobby, all these great goats. Little Garden, that's with Broggy and Groggy or whatever the fuck. I don't know their name. But it's the two giants, it's the giant island. It's not Elbaf, but it's the giant island. With all the dinosaurs and shit. Which was great. I really like Little Garden. This is where we get to see the wax fruit with I think Zoro and all of them getting stuck into the wax little cake thingy. Luffy being an absolute crackhead. The really cool, interesting fight between the giants and how that ends and how it started and all of this, with it starting with like a hunting competition, which is exactly how the arc started with Sanji and Zoro with a hunting competition. I think it's great, like pathing between there. Luffy doesn't really do much during this, honestly. Um, I think Luffy is kind of pushed more into the background, and we get more for Vivi, not Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami. We get all of them. We get a lot more scenes with them stuck in the wax. This is where we learn more about Crocodile, because I think this is also the arc where Sanji picks up the snail for Crocodile, talks to him. It's just a generally decent arc. So we are gonna slap Lil Garn into mid. Actually, I want to bump Lil Garn up to good. I like Lil Garn a lot. I really like the two giants. They became really some pretty decent characters really quick. The atmosphere of it, pretty cool. God, early One Piece was really just amazing, wasn't it? Like, it's still good all throughout, but my god, it was just a different time back then. Logtown. Okay, this is where we stop to get supplies. This is where Roger was born and executed. This is where we get the scene with Alvida and Buggy trying to kill Luffy on the tower. We get to see Dragon for the first time. We get introduced to Tashigi and Smoker. And seeing Smoker ride his bike. Brother, why doesn't Smoker ride his bike anymore? What the fuck is up with that? Smoker would be a lot more useful, not powerful, but useful, if he actually used his bike. But still, we get introduced to Smoker, see how much Luffy isn't much of a threat to Smoker yet. I don't know if it is Dragon's Devil Fruit, but I like to think it is. That, like, the whole wind and element thing with the lightning and all of that with Dragon, and he saves Luffy by striking him with lightning. I really like that, and it also foreshadows a little bit of Skypiea, because we see him get struck by lightning and he's fine, and then we get to Skypiea and the entire fight is pretty much lightning. So I'm gonna put Logtown into mid. It's decent. It's not that bad. It's definitely a helpful arc for later. We learn about three very important characters that come back: Smoker, Tashigi, and Dragon. But let's move on to, oh my fucking god, Long Ring and Long Land. Now, I'm only talking about anime for this, but for the manga, Long Ring Long Land ain't bad. It's really not. But in the anime, it's so drawn out. I feel like, actually, I know they extended it. They extended Long Ring Long Land by a lot. Um, the ending fight where we actually beat Foxy is pretty decent. I really liked it. The whole thing with Afro Luffy is cool. Not much about it is that great. Aokiji popping up at the end, that's pretty dope. Other than that, not much happens. Marineford. Oh, yeah, baby. Now we're getting into the juicy shit. Marineford. This is where shit gets nuts. We're finally getting close to saving Ace. Luffy falls out of the fucking sky right when Whitebeard and everything's getting fucking crazy. Garp is there. Sengoku is there. Holy shit. We actually get to see Whitebeard and his power. Back then, he was known as the most powerful pirate or just being alive, because we haven't really learned anything about Kaido at all. Kaido, Big Mom, or literally anyone else. Literally, Whitebeard was peak strength at the time. And he comes in with his balls slanging, bro. Literally just tilting the ocean, tilting Marineford, just fucking shit up. Um, let's see. Akainu being a dog, he just don't care. He be talking down the ace. That's how he turned him into a donut. He's like, I'm a dog. You're not. Your shit. Your father's shit. Your grandpa is shit. Everything about you is shit. Ace gets upset and then he turns into a goddamn donut. Luffy using Conqueror's Haki there. I'm actually surprised Luffy didn't fucking die, purely by the amount of adrenaline that Ivankov just shoved up his ass. His Luffy hasn't taken a nap. My man has barely eaten, other than obviously in other than Impel Down. But Luffy honestly might have fucking died. Like, he was in pretty bad shape when he got onto Law's ship at the end. But Marineford is just top tier. I really don't have many words for Marineford. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Like, if you have seen it, go back and watch it. If you're not even into One Piece, I don't give a fuck. Watch Marineford. That shit will blow your mind. Unlike Orangetown. Orangetown is alright. I honestly would put Orangetown in mid. Not good. Come on now, mid. I would put Marineford above Baratie A. Orangetown above Logtown. Okay. Where are we at? Orangetown. This is where we meet Buggy. We get more stuff with Nami. We get that little dog in the pet store and shit. One of my favorite scenes in Orangetown is actually seeing the Buggy Ball. Sadly enough, I love the Buggy Ball and how much destructive power it actually has to just blow through an entire town like that. Buggy is a really cool character, especially after he was taken seriously. Like, we're supposed to take him seriously, but he's really not that powerful in the beginning. Or ever, actually. But after that, he's really just a joke. He gets kicked in the nuts by Luffy. It's some of the funniest fucking shit ever. What else happens? Zoro practically carrying the entire arc. He fights Buggy, gets injured, still proceeds to carry Luffy in his heavy ass cage that he's stuck in, all the way to a different town. Okay. Not a different town, but like farther in town. Practically dies, but still has enough energy to fuck shit up. Like, oh my god, I love Zoro so much. Even though he's sleeping through most of it. Punk Hazard. The whole island of ice and fire. This shit was cool. I like Punk Hazard. I would put Punk Hazard in good above Little Garden. I like Caesar. I don't like his laugh, but I like Caesar. Caesar was cool, and his devil fruit is even cooler. He literally controls gas. Oxygen, nitrogen, fucking literally every type of gas you can think of, he controls it. It doesn't help that he's a fucking scientist. He's a genius scientist. So he can come up with all kinds of poisons, control them at will. He can fly through the air with his poison. He can pretty much do anything. He turned the entire island into cum monsters, which was pretty dope. What else do we get to see? The giant children that he's experimenting on, and one of them sacrificing pretty much her life, even though she lives at the end, which is a pretty cool scene. Almost made me tear up there. Uh, we get more love for Nami and Chopper during this. Frankie gets some when they switch bodies, but after they switch bodies, Frankie is pretty much useless throughout this arc. Zoro doesn't do much either. Neither does Robin, but I think Robin helps a little bit more than Zoro. But this is where we reunite with Law, and how fucking cool Law is. We get the full full extent of Law's power right here. We see him switching people's hearts, switching their personalities and shit. People just getting jumbled around into different body parts. It's really cool. Plus, Law gets bodied until he gets his heart, and then he just cuts all of Punk Hazard in half. Or at least the laboratory. But Punk Hazard is just pretty cool. Law is really great. If you haven't seen Law yet in the story, trust me, he's cool. If you have seen him, Asaba Odi, trust me, he gets fucking cooler. Especially when we get to Wano. But now we're going to be talking about something pretty mid. And that's the Reverie. I don't like the Reverie. It's really short. Not much happens besides a whole bunch of like politics and story shit, which is really cool. I really like the story shit. I like the politics of One Piece. I love the fish people actually going to the Reverie and being heard. But it's alright. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. It's just the Reverie. It's whatever. Reverse Mountain. This is where we see Laboon, the inside of Laboon. I think, right? Yes. Right? Yes. Laboon, the guy working on Laboon, Laboon's backstory, and then we eventually see it connect to Brook later down the line. I'm going to take a hit real quick. Reverse Mountain is a really good start. Literally, as soon as we go into the Grand Line, we are immediately eaten by a whale. Luffy's freaking the fuck out. Give me back my friends. Punching the whale in the face. Like, I'm sure weekly watchers are like, what the fuck just happened? Our crew just fucking died. But no, they're inside chilling of Laboon. Laboon's insides are just all mechanical, which I'm interested to see how Brook is going to react to that. But yeah, not much happens here besides for the love for Laboon, the promise to Laboon to come back and fight him. Which also leads into Brook again, that we will eventually come back and fulfill that promise of meeting Laboon again. This is where we see Vivi, and we start the quest for Alabasta. Vivi's sexy ass with her weird ass outfit in the manga. I'm gonna put Reverse Mountain into decent. I wouldn't say it's mid, but it's definitely decent. But something that is amazing, Romance Dawn. People say Romance Dawn is bad, is mid, whatever. It's not good because it's the very beginning, not much happens, and the only real good shit is with Shanks. Yes, everything cool that happens in the beginning is Shanks. Because Shanks is just that fucking guy. Oh, you have a gun? You're gonna threaten me with a gun? Guns aren't for threats, they're for action. And then he straight up just bodies this nigga. He makes one of his crewmates come up, shoot this man in the head. Like Shanks will pretty much let you do anything to him. You can punch him, you can spit on him, you can spill drinks on him. You could probably come on him if you really want to. But he's not gonna fuck with you. Unless you fuck with his friends. That is when shit gets serious. This is when we first see Conqueror's Haki. Well, obviously back then we didn't know it was Conqueror's Haki, but later in the story we do. We see Shanks use Conqueror's Haki to save Luffy in the water. That's what makes the giant Lunarian... Not Lunarian, my bad. Neptunian go away. What else do we see here? The infamous fucking hat drop onto Luffy's head. I love that by Shanks. Seeing Luffy's whole attitude change from Shanks, why didn't you beat these guys up? You are a pirate, you're strong, you're supposed to be doing this. And then Luffy learns, like, oh, maybe my entire life isn't supposed to be about fighting. Maybe I'm actually supposed to see people's actions first, see how they act, see what they do, see their intent, and then do everything to protect my friends. These are lessons we learn during all of Romance Dawn. And that's like the very first arc. It's literally the first arc, and we get all of this emotion and all of this detail about Luffy's story. Now his backstory, it's alright, but Romance Dawn is mid. It's up there with Loguetown, Orange Town, all of these things, because it does a lot, but does it compete with everything else? No. Sabaody. Oh yeah. Sabaody was impactful. Really impactful. This is where we get the time skip. I'm putting it in perfect, by the way. Sabaody is perfect, in my opinion. Purely because we get the time skip with Kuma sending everyone off to different islands. The amount of emotion we get from Luffy freaking the fuck out, losing his crew, seeing Zoro disappear. Like, where is Zoro? Where did you bring Zoro? Why are you doing this? Luffy just panicking, not being able to save his crew. And just not knowing what to do. Usopp actually standing up and trying to protect Zoro with his slingshot against Kuma. That and Kizaru. God. We see Rayleigh here. This is the first time we see Rayleigh being a fucking perv, talking about he likes little girls and shit. But we see Rayleigh. We see Ryuo for the first time. We don't know it's Ryuo, but we see him use it on the chains to save that Kami girl. Or is it Kami? No, it might just be a random fucking slave. I don't know. What else happens here? The Buster Call happens. No, not the Buster Call, my bad. Just an admiral shows up because Luffy punches a celestial dragon. I'm high. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up fucking Buster Calls. Yeah, Kizaru shows up. We get to see people freaking out about that. It's the Straw Hats not being able to do anything against Kizaru because he's literally just made of light. No one has Haki yet, but Rayleigh. Just a lot of great shit. A lot of great shit. Now, Skypiea is also great. Eneru, Enel, whatever you want to call him, I love his character. Because he was truly the first character to be like, I'm a god. You can't do anything against me. And literally no one could. No one could touch him. Even when we did touch him, he restarted his heart. My man can destroy islands. Literally, if he was on the ground and wasn't in Skypiea, and he was actually like on the seafloor, he would have caused some damage. Yeah, he wouldn't have been as strong as he was in Skypiea, because there's like loads of people with armament Haki and just conquerors Haki on the seafloor. But Enel is honestly perfect. He's cocky, which is pretty great in a villain, in my opinion, because he has the power to be cocky, and he knows he has that power. He also commanded pretty much everyone to melt down gold and build a fucking ship for him so he can control it to fly to the moon. My man actually went to the goddamn moon and met with aliens. Some weird looking fucking aliens. Holy shit. Now, his subordinates, I don't really care for. They're like little filler characters that I don't really care about until we get to the fight with Enel. But seeing Sanji and Usopp getting absolutely bodied, Zoro getting bodied, oh man, it's a great arc. Skypiea is good. Syrup Village, decent. I love Usopp as a character. I really do. But this whole arc is just bad. Captain Kuro is just a bad villain. Like, is he menacing? Yeah. Does He'd do a good job, yes, but his plan is so dumb. I'm gonna stay on this island for 3 years, make friends with this little girl so she can write me into her will, and then raid the entire village just to get a little bit of treasure and then leave. Brother, just raid the village, okay? Kill the little girl. You're a fucking pirate. Kill the little girl, and then take the treasure. Not that difficult. Alright, just a bad arc overall, besides for Usopp and his lies. I love Usopp. Thriller Bark. I don't see Wano on this list, which is fine. Wano isn't over with. Okay, Thriller Bark. It's where we meet Brook. We get Moria. And literally one of the most devastating attacks in One Piece so far at that time was Moria with Shadow's Asgard punching into the ground and literally splitting the ground. I'm gonna get some hate for this, but Thriller Bark is A tier. It's A tier, it's good tier, it's whatever. I like Thriller Bark, I really do. Especially that nothing happened. The scenes with Sanji and Zoro competing to who's going to take all the pain or who's going to sacrifice their life for Luffy. Um, we learn that Sanji has learned about all these devil fruits, know what they do and shit. So it's a little bit more backstory for Sanji. I think the atmosphere of Thriller Bark is pretty cool. It's like Halloween esque. It's like Alice in Wonderland kind of. Just have a whole bunch of like shit. We have a Cerberus at the very beginning. We have Luffy pushing the zombies back into the grave, which is hilarious. The whole Shadows plot of burning up in the sun, I think, was a great plot as well. Seeing two warlords, Moria and Kuma, in the same place, which was pretty scary, especially for my first time watching, because like we had to team up with the entire crew just to take down Moria, and now we are seeing a completely different warlord that is even more powerful. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? I don't know. I really like Thriller Bark. Water 7. Water 7 is perfect. We get introduced to Frankie, the betrayal of CP9. We get the Mary getting destroyed. We get the fight with Usopp and Luffy. The atmosphere of Water 7 and the whole design of it is cool. Aqua Laguna or whatever. That plot is cool. Sanji beating up everyone on the sea train. The whole kind of betrayal of Robin. I really like Iceberg as a character. Uh, Rob Lucci is just so fucking cool. He's such a cool villain. I know, like, CP9 as a whole were like the villains. Same with Bluno. Speaking of Bluno, this is where we see Gear Second. I think, right? Isn't this where we see Gear Second? Or is that in Water 7? Or, Enies Lobby. That might have been Enies Lobby. Yeah, it was Enies Lobby. That's where we get second and third. But Water 7 is so cool. So thrilled Impact, actually. Like, with all the betrayals and shit happening. It's so cool. Whole Cake. Whole Cake Island is perfect. I'm putting Whole Cake above everything besides Marineford. I love Sanji. Sanji is my favorite character of all time. His backstory is so sad. I love him so much. God, like, it literally brought me to tears with Sanji's backstory. And seeing him actually hoping that he can stay on Whole Cake, make things right with Pudding, because he already beat up Luffy. He already, quote unquote, betrayed his crew in his mind. So, what's left to do? Commit to this thing that he was supposed to do with Pudding, but even Pudding doesn't even want him. You you see his reaction to Pudding making fun of him and saying that she's going to kill his whole family and stuff like that, and seeing him break down in the rain, struggling to light his lighter, to even light a cigarette. The one relief that he has, he can't even light and have it. And it's so much love and passion into Whole Cake, especially with all the Alice in Wonderland type shit with the mirrors and just Brulee's power in general. The design of things, like the talking trees, Brulee's design, Katakuri's design, everyone that has to do with like the food and the candy and the different islands. Big Mom was a big threat for the longest time because she was a Yonko. We couldn't even take on a Yonko until Wano. So we couldn't fight her, and the only way we could do that is destroy a picture that she has, which was a great plot device, by the way. Like, how do we stop her? Oh, this one weakness that she has. And Brook does it. Brook has so much of a spotlight in Whole Cake. Yeah, he kind of gets used by Big Mom for a while, but when he gets rescued, he does some of the best shit ever. I think before he was taken away, he did the road poneglyph, the red one, or whatever. He got that. He pretty much fought Big Mom for a while. Um, he's the one that destroyed the picture to suppress Big Mom or make her angry, whatever the fuck. He did so much during Whole Cake, especially taking care of the crew at the same time. Um, the fight with Katakuri, in my opinion, is one of the best fights in One Piece. Right now, I'm really enjoying the fight with Kaido. That's like my favorite fight so far. Other than that, I don't know. It's just Whole Cake is pretty much perfect to me. Unlike Whiskey Peak. Whiskey Peak is a quick one. It's a lot of shit for Zoro. Seeing Zoro take out pretty much the entire island of bounty hunters and crocodile people. That was pretty much it that happened, really. We learned that Vivi is a princess. We need to get to Alabasta. I think Robin is here and fucks up Igaram. It's mid. Whiskey Peak is mid. Actually, I would put Whiskey Peak in decent. This is where we learn that Zoro's a racist and all this shit. Lastly, we have Zoe. And this is a long video, man. I thought I was going for like 15 minutes. Nah, guess not. Zoe is our last one. And the whole concept of Zoe having an entire island on the back of a giant elephant that walks around the ocean is just fucking cool. You can't tell me that's not cool. It's a giant elephant walking around the ocean. It's been traveling like that for hundreds, if not thousands of years. No one knows what it wants. And God, the entire island is filled with animal people. Minks, they're called. There's like dog people, there's cat people, elephants, there's zebras, gorillas, all this other shit. And it's pretty cool. Now I understand how a lot of people nowadays will find it weird because making fun of furries is cool. I do it too, but if you take away the whole furry aspect of it, it's a really good arc. I'm gonna put it in good because I really like Zoe. I'm not even just gonna rank any of these in the list itself because I've been talking for way too long now. The video is way too long. Zoe is great. Watch One Piece if you haven't. It's been Snoopy. See you guys later.